Well, this is so darn fun for me because every sort of news video I've done for the last 4, 5, 6, maybe even 7 years has been Nintendo Switch related. And don't get me wrong, I love Nintendo. It has been a precious part of my life since I was a wee little lad, 4 years old when I got my first NES. But there's a ton of other news that I just can't cover over on Switch Force. So I'm going to formulate this into some sort of bi-weekly segment or tri-weekly segment, I don't know. But bringing you gaming news, leaks, rumors, details, and just my take and my analysis of what's going on. Today we've got some really cool stuff on Call of Duty, on Resident Evil, on Journey to the Savage Planet, which is a cult favorite of mine, and on the PlayStation Showcase. Let's start there because I think that's going to happen the soonest. What's going on, everybody? It's GhostRobo. Hit that like button if you enjoy these kinds of videos. Let me know what you think in the comments down below because supposedly we're having some sort of PlayStation event before the end of May, and looking at my calendar, the clock is ticking. Really running out of time, and we're getting kind of mixed messages. Initially, this was going to be a big showcase. Now everyone's kind of trying to tamper expectations and say, like, A, it's going to be a state of play and it's not going to have many good games. We've got this reliable Twitter leaker, Lunatic Ignis, who's saying that a PlayStation something is going to be announced the next 24 hours. He posted that 3 hours ago. That would have been 3 p.m. Eastern on Tuesday. Therefore, it should happen by 3 p.m. Eastern on Wednesday, if we're to believe him. But then Special Nick, who has been, I would say, an up and down leaker, like more credible than not, but has definitely got some things wrong, says that maybe wires were crossed. He said, quote, I have to wonder if someone got wires crossed and this was the PlayStation show around the 28th. Would explain why no one could pin down whether it was a showcase or state of play and why I never got a list of games like I normally do beforehand. And what he's talking about is a corporate strategy meeting tomorrow. So what if all of this PlayStation Showcase, state of play, new PlayStation games, big reveal, big event, finally we're going to hear more from PlayStation about the rest of 2024, ends up being a corporate meeting that doesn't reveal absolutely a thing. A corporate strategy meeting would not have anything to do with us, would not have anything to do with games, new announcements, trailers, nothing. I hear that it's going to be a very slow year for PlayStation exclusives, maybe the slowest. And this would not surprise me. The fact that Special Nick says he normally gets a list of games and has not indicates either it's some super secret, crazy cool event or nothing. And at this point, I'm leaning towards the latter. I do think it's possible that a state of play does come out, and oftentimes these things are linked to corporate meetings. Like Nintendo sometimes has directs near to investor calls to sort of, hype up investors. It makes sense. But what if this is just a big nothing burger and there is no PlayStation event? What games do they even have to talk about? What would they reveal? Because there's a chance that maybe this stuff just gets revealed at Summer Games Fest and then the individual publisher events throughout the month of June. Like if Sony doesn't have anything major proper, if we're not getting big partnerships from Square Enix anymore, working exclusively with Sony, what are they going to talk about? What would the state of play even have, let alone a PlayStation Showcase? So keep your eyes on this. I'll let you know if anything gets announced or deconfirmed. Right now, I think a PlayStation event is kind of 50-50. I'm really hoping for one, but I wouldn't get your hopes up too high. Now, what you can't get your hopes up, though, is for God of War Ragnarok's PC release. Bill Kuhn says that it's getting really close. God of War Ragnarok port for PC will be announced very soon. Sorry, I still can't give a precise announcement window, but it sounds like it's coming imminently. They tweeted back on May 10th that it was going to be released on PC soon, and now it's really closer, according to Bill Kuhn. And they say with 95% of chances, I can get the announcement date with a potential release date, which is, a lot of confidence in his rumor there. It would make sense that a God of War Ragnarok port for PC would be announced in conjunction with a state of play. But if we're going to play devil's advocate here, that's just another reason that maybe people thought there was a state of play and maybe there's not. Like maybe there's just not, and maybe the corporate strategy meeting in conjunction with a PC announcement for God of War Ragnarok made people think there was a PlayStation event, and in reality, maybe there just isn't. I hope I'm wrong. Now, a sequel to Journey to the Savage Planet seems like it's in the works because Raccoon Logic Studios, the makers of Journey to the Savage Planet, trademarked Savage Planet and Revenge of the Savage Planet. Now, if you don't know, Journey to the Savage Planet is a great game. It looks like it would just be another one of those, like an indie riff on something already established and not be that great, but ooh baby, it's fantastic. You are flying around the stages. The grapple hook thing is just incredible. I love the different weapons. I think it's got a great style and unique sense of humor and charm that's all its own. I really, really love this game, and I really, really like it a lot. I would love for a sequel to happen. Initially, it looked like a sequel wouldn't happen because there was a Stadia sequel to this game being made, but then Stadia got shut down. Typhoon, the studio that initially made it, started this new studio called Raccoon Logic, and they were able to get Google to give them the IP, including apparently the game that was a work in progress. So they are working on some sort of new game, and that's probably the title, Revenge of the Savage Planet after Journey to the Savage Planet. This will instantly vault up my ladder of most anticipated smaller games as soon as it's announced. Is this going to like top out Star Wars Outlaws or I don't know, whatever you're super looking forward to, Elden Ring DLC? Probably not, but I do think it's one to keep an eye on and one that could get announced at Summer Games Fest and one that is really worth your radar. Now, Resident Evil 9 will not be announced this summer. We had a lot of Resident Evil mumbo jumbo going on with Resident Evil 0 and Veronica apparently in development as remakes. But now Dust Golem says that due to that, and Dust Golem is probably the biggest Resident Evil leaker on the planet, due to that, Resident Evil 9 has been pushed, and so Resident Evil 9 will not be announced this summer. He says, I'm choosing to be the one to burst the bubble in a bigger way of what's going on with Resident Evil stuff. First, I would wipe the expectations of RE9 being announced this summer, period. The initial murmurs I heard, I now do believe are right, and RE's announcement will not be this summer. Now, some people say that he flip-flops on leaks back and forth, but I feel like what I've seen, he's been pretty right, so I do trust him. If Resident Evil 9 is announced this summer, then we will drop Dust Golem way down our tier list of leakers. But as of right now, no RE9 this summer. I loved Village. I thought Village was stellar. So I'm really pumped to see what they do with RE9. Probably more than the ports, but hearing news that Zero is being remade, I guess not ported, remade, and that Code Veronica is being remade is exciting. According to Necrophilippe, they're both supposed to be native on Switch 2 when that launches eventually, so that's pretty cool. I don't think any of these games are coming out this year, so maybe it's much ado about nothing. Resident Evil probably taking the year off. I'm guessing Capcom is going to go all hands on deck for Monster Hunter Wilds is sort of the big title they're hyping up, with some smaller releases throughout the year, but we'll probably hear from them at Summer Games Fest and later this summer. Now, another thing that we know about is Black Ops being on Game Pass. What do y'all think about this? Black Ops 6 is going to be day one with Xbox Game Pass, being the first time that Call of Duty is on Game Pass. Now, apparently this was said before. I just missed it, I guess. I don't know. Apparently it's always been a Game Pass exclusive, and that's something big that they really got with Activision. Well, not an exclusive. Like, it's exclusive on Game Pass. Not going to be on other free passes, but you can obviously get it. It's going to be on PlayStation and PC and stuff like that. But that, and apparently it's also going to be on last gen, which seems madness to me, but okay. But it will be day one with Game Pass, meaning Microsoft, I guess they signed some huge, I don't know. I don't know what's better for them at this point. Xbox is struggling so much. Like, is it better to try to get more Game Pass subscribers? Is it better to just sell games? Like, Call of Duty is your only guaranteed seller, and it's going to be day one in Game Pass. How does that work out for them? I don't know. It does make a lot of sense to get Game Pass if you're going to play Call of Duty on Xbox. But I think some people will just be like, nah, I'd rather just own it. I know I'm going to keep this game forever. I don't want to have it be on a subscription. Really curious. I feel like Microsoft is between a rock and a hard place no matter what they do. And apparently, like I said, this has been announced before, so it's not new news, but we do have like official talk about it now that we know it's Call of Duty Black Ops 6, now that they're teasing the game extensively, now that it's going to be definitely, shown off at the Microsoft Showcase in a couple of weeks. Call of Duty has sort of, I don't know. Like, Call of Duty is still very popular, right? Call of Duty is still major, but is Call of Duty something that still gets you excited? I don't know. I feel like it's time for shooters to enter a new era. I don't really know what that even looks like, but FPSs, I think, need to grow and evolve beyond just games as services, beyond just military shooters. We used to have such amazing, incredible FPS titles, like all sorts of different unique settings, different unique weapons, different unique ideas, multiplayer, single player, co-op. So I want more shooters. So I'm not going to complain about Call of Duty Black Ops 6. I'm not going to complain about, the new Doom game, Dark Ages, being announced soon. I like both of these, but I do think that we need more cool ideas, more cool shooters, stuff like Judas. I'm just going to be screaming from the mountaintops about Judas till that game comes out, because it's probably the game I want most. As a massive, huge BioShock fan, probably my favorite game of all time, I need to play Judas. And I hope Judas is successful so that more people will take risks like this. That's all I got for you today, though. Let me know what you think in the comments down below. Is this PlayStation event actually happening or not? We got to figure it out. In the meantime, though, thanks so much for watching. Drink some hot chocolate, and we'll see you all later.